So how much is 90% constitutional silver worth? How do you find the best deals? For those of you who don't know, constitutional silver is the 90% silver that used to be our circulated coinage, and it has the denomination. Let's talk about that in this video. Well, also, while I was doing research on this, I was looking at the spot prices. Is silver actually at 19 right now, or is it under 19? Because I'm seeing two different things. So we're going to show that in this video as well. So let's get started. Let's take a look at what we're charging for our 90% constitutional. So over here on PortsmouthCoinShop.com, we do strive and try really hard to be as competitive as possible. The problem is that we kind of get squeezed by the bigger dealers because we have to buy from them if we don't get enough from the front. So we're in a small town. We have some people come in with some rolls of 90%, but most of the time it comes from other dealers, and we have to pay over spot for it. So we have to charge a little bit more. It's hard to be competitive. We have Roosevelt dimes at $1.15 a roll. We have our Washington quarters at $2.15 a roll. Our Mercury dimes at $1.20 a roll. Our Kennedys at $2.20, and our walking halves at $2.25. We don't have enough Franklins left. I'm hesitant on buying in at the moment because you get squeezed, and that's just the way it is. The bigger dealers squeeze the smaller dealers. That's how this happens. So this is the deal. I wanted to show you those prices, and then we're going to look at what everybody else has things priced at, or at least some. What we use is our price thing. There's a few things to note, and I want to show you that. There's a few things that's very important that you need to know when you're looking for prices on this kind of stuff. And this is what I did. I did a little bit of a workup. It's not much. I wanted to show the melt value, current melt value from coinflation.com is $1.36, which is basically 13 plus times face, 13.6 times face. And that's $68 a roll. But when you're looking at melt value, you're looking at coins that are at least AU and up, no circulation. Because if you start really going into the weight and actual melt, when you start talking about $1,000 face, then the weight makes a difference. There's not that much melt in a bag of, let's say, 90% dimes or even the halves. You're getting a lot less. And when someone brings coins in and they're slicks, this is really not the melt, even if they're halves. So we're talking about common dates. I mean, we know there's better dates than some of the walkers anyways, but really the better dates are not in the quarters unless it's 32 DNS. And of course, Mercury dimes are going to be worth more than Roosevelt dimes, even if they're the same condition, same wear. But we have to really realize that this melt here is not the actual melt of a worn coin. So that's the first thing you have to think of. So if you go into a dealer's coin shop with a bunch of slicks or worn coins and he offers you 12X and you think that's, highway robbery because he didn't offer you melt. Well, he did probably offer you pretty close to melt, and maybe even more, because some bags coming in or rolls might be more like 11.5 or something like that, okay, as far as melt value. So let's come over here and look at eBay first. So I do want to say, when you're looking at eBay, you've got three variables. One was the roll up for bid. Bids typically go for less. Was it by just a regular person putting it up and it finally sold, like a buy it now? Or was it a dealer with a buy it now? Because they tend to sell for more. So you've got a regular person that could have put a buy it now on something and finally sold it. It's usually probably in between the bid price, that something went on a bid. You see the 110 right here. And then you have 140, which this is for BU rolls, so it really doesn't count. So we're looking more like this, maybe at $1.25. But every time, but you got to pay attention to the condition here. So we can scroll down and look and see what we're trying to find. Maybe a roll that's circulate like $118 here, or $104.59. So we have one here, right? This is the price that I use. It's $104.59. So when you're looking at pricing, you have to look at, is it a buy it now? Is it from a big dealer? Sometimes big dealers can offer deals. Sometimes they can sell them for more. They have a larger customer base. And then, like I said, the bids typically go for less. Then we look at the quarters, same thing, $195. Buy it now from the coin exchange. Typically, they can be cheaper because they buy it in more bulk. They thrive on smaller profit margins, and that puts the squeeze on small time dealers. Okay, little mom and pop shops, I'm not going to say I'm a victim, but they do kind of suffer in pricing, because how can we compete with them if they're charging us $1.85 a roll or $1.90 a roll? I'm not saying it's that bad, but I'm definitely paying sometimes $5 over to even get these when it comes to melt value. And it's really tough because I'll get rolls or bags of this from dealers, and some of them will be really bad shape, and we have to put them in our scratch and dent lots, so they'll be really worn. And then we come over and look at the half dollar, same thing, 204, 215. It just depends. Walkers typically go for more than Franklins, but sometimes they're about the same. Kennedys, you go for less. You can see that. When you're looking through this, that's what you'll find out. J.M. Bullion. I didn't find a whole lot in the way of anything in stock here. There are some that are in stock. Now, standing quarters will go for a little bit more. Okay, they're more desirable, but when you look at, and I can't see it, the Roosevelt dimes that are circulated, I don't know what their price was because they're out of stock. So I really couldn't go by them, but you can look at the 500 face and kind of deduce. But over here's the dollar face, 23.54. It's kind of confusing because they sell it different ways. You have to make sure you're paying attention to this is $5 face right here. The one problem I see is they don't look at as low as. Okay, so we're not talking about what the price actually is unless you're going to send them a check or wire them money or buy so much. So we need to click on it to find out exactly what their price is. So with card and PayPal, it's $107.58. So they're credit card prices. See, our prices over here on our website, these are credit card prices. These coins are not slicks. They still have meat on the bone. We pick out the calls, we pick out the slicks, and we make sure that our coins are pretty quality coins. If they're not, we will refund. I mean, we'll exchange one coin and pay the shipping. But we're also looking at credit card, and we're not charging you a tax. See, over here on J.M. Bullion, you do have to worry about taxes unless you're a business. You have to think about if you're paying credit card, you have to think about all those different factors to make sure that you are getting a better deal. They may have it listed cheaper a little bit, but overall, once you put it in your cart and you go through the process, you can compare prices. SD Bullion, it's another place that we look, and this is we do our pricing, and this is what I'm looking at, $19, and I can refresh the page. I think it refreshes on its own. Now they're $18.96. It was $19. You saw that yourself. And I come over to Kitco, and I know that they're all draw from different places, and this is $18.77. So what this is ask, and over here this is probably bid, or a little closer to bid. There's usually a 10 cents or 20 cents discrepancy between ask and bid. And ask is basically buying it for, selling it for is bid. That's pretty much how it goes. And so anyway, we're looking at over here at SD Bullion again. Okay, we're looking for Franklin half dollars, 203.45. And you can buy the bags, and it's going to be a little bit cheaper. So if you notice here, if you buy a bag of half dollars, which is a $100 face bag, it's $19.98. But if you want only $10 face, it's $203. But this also, as low as, it's so important to realize what we're talking about when you're looking at prices, whether it's credit card or whether it's Bitcoin or whether it's check or wire. Because if you want to use a credit card, it's $211.93. Now, we don't have Franklins, but if you come over in our halves, we're $225. Guarantee you're not getting slicks. We pay the credit card fees, and you don't pay a tax. So we're going to be pretty close. But that's how we price it. That's as far as how to buy it cheaper. Honestly, I mean, you almost have to do eBay. And you'd want to go to the larger dealers because they can sell it cheaper. I mean, I would love for people to buy it from us. But when you see it like that, almost I could buy it here for $104.59 and come over and sell it and make what, $10 a roll or so. But then when 3% kicks in for the credit card, the time it takes to go through them and pick out the ones that are not slick, I mean, it's probably not worth it for me. So these coins, though, could be slicks. You don't know for sure what you're getting. I mean, I'm sure that they might have a description in here. We can take a look at it and maybe see if it shows that. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not saying they're peddling slicks and just trying to fool people. It's not what I'm saying. I mean, you're getting a roll of dimes for $104.89. That can't be bad in the current market. Let's put it that way. And let's see here if they have. It says typically a roll will be primarily Roosevelt dimes, so I guess there can be a random mix here. It doesn't show any other coins. Junk silver, varying quality. Some are heavily circulated condition, so they're telling you some are heavy, some are light. So really, to find out if you're getting the best deal, You want to make sure you're looking at either credit card or check pricing or bank wire, if you are going to be charged a tax or not, and also make sure you look at shipping. Those are all important things to consider when you see a good price. So open up your tabs and look at the different businesses, and there's other dealers out there too, and you can compare and say, look, why would I want to buy from this person if they're $5 more? Okay. You have to make that decision. Are you supporting a mom and pop? Are you supporting, it doesn't matter to you. You don't care who you support, or have you been doing business with this, maybe Liberty Coin for years, and that's who you're going to stick with? Or as some people tell me, you do a lot of YouTube and you've helped me out a whole lot, so I'm going to pay the extra $5 or $10 because I want to support your business and you're a small mom and pop. I mean, it doesn't matter to me personally, but I do appreciate those who do business with me. But if you're going to find a better deal on 90%, then you definitely want to do just a little bit of homework, but it doesn't take much. I mean, I did this video. We're basically looking at under, I don't know, 13 minutes, 12 minutes to do the video. And I showed you exactly what I do. You go in and you find it. You want Roosevelt dimes, Mercury dimes, you open up those tabs and do your comparisons and make sure you have your little checklist of all the things that you're checking. Make sure you're not looking at as low prices and things like that. And you can pretty much buy anything that way and get good deals. And sometimes you have to be patient. Like right now, it's going up a little bit. Silver has a spot, and 90% is affected by the silver melt. And that's the way it works with this. Even though it's not, really the physical price, it's still, that's how it works. But that's the way to do it. That's what you want to do when you want to find a better deal on the 90%, is do a little bit of homework and a little bit of shopping around and consider all the variables that you're looking at when you do this. And patience sometimes pays off. Sometimes you might need to be patient. Sometimes you might get your local dealer and say, hey, if you ever get a big load in, I'd get a deal on it, give me a call. So maybe do that. So thanks for watching my latest video. Please like, share, and comment, and have a great day.